Hey everybody, it's GobletX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today I'll be playing another traditional draft of the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. Without further ado, let's get into the pack 1, pick 1. This is a very strong pack, primarily just a bunch of great black cards, particularly Claim the Precious and the Balrog, Durin's Bane. I'm just going to start off with the Balrog here. It's going to be a really powerful card to have at the top end of your curve in any red-black deck, and it's also a card that you can splash in off of Great Hall of the Citadels. That's what we did with the last deck that I drafted, and that means that this isn't as narrow as it seems, and I think I'm going to start drafting multicolored legends a little more highly because the Great Hall of the Citadel is a pretty real magic card for splashing in these off-color legends, and it makes it so they are a lot more flexible than they look. So I'm going to start with the Balrog here. Probably not going to be a super great draft pod to try to be guaranteed in black-red unless we get past a bunch of good black-red from the right, because passing Claim the Precious and Vanguard and stuff to the left means that pack 2, when these players are passing to us, I don't think we're going to get a bunch of good black, but we'll find out. We'll see how the draft continues from here. We are on pack 1, pick 2 now. There's a Sauron's Ransom, which is a really great spell. It's going to be an instant speed card to draw you 2 cards and have the Ring Tempt You, which is a great deal. There's a little bit of a mind game in there where your opponent gets to separate 4 of your cards into 2 piles and you have to pick one of them, but essentially you're going to be drawing 2 and having the Ring Tempt You, so really nice card. I like Sauron's Ransom a lot. The only thing I don't like about it is that it is a multicolored card. We could just jam an Easterling Vanguard to go with the Balrog, or Errand Rider of Gondor and Pelargir Survivor are the strongest monocolored cards. Maybe Saruman the White's a little better than Survivor, but I'm just going to jam a Sauron's Ransom. I think it's a very strong card, and I'm very into it. Pack 1, pick 3 now. Don't see anything great in black or red, nothing really pick 3 worthy. In blue, it's really just Arwen's Gift. I think the best cards out of this pack are mainly just Woe's Pathfinder for fixing if we go for a Great Hall of the Citadel style deck, splashing in the Balrog, and Prince Imrahil again if we go for a Great Hall of the Citadel style deck. Because really, taking an Ungol Patrol or an Arwen's Gift pick 3 is super not great. I'll just take a Pathfinder here. Pick 4 now. Another pretty weak pack. These cards are drying up quickly. There's a Grima Wormtongue we could grab since we are 2 cards deep into black. That's probably what I'll do here. The only alternative really is Eagles of the North or Shire Scarecrow for some mediocre mana fixing. I'll just take Grima Wormtongue. And that's a pick 5 Voracious Fellbeast, which is an insane sign for black. That is a fantastic card at the top end of your curve in any black deck, be it blue-black, black-red, or black-green, whatever way we end up going. Super happy to take Voracious Fellbeast here, so at least we know we'll get past some solid black cards from the right. Again, because we passed that Claim the Precious and some Vanguards, I doubt we're getting good black stuff in pack 2 when we're getting passed from the left, but we can get Fellbeasts pick 5, pack 1, and pack 3. We should be in a fine position to be drafting black. Pack 1, pick 6 now. I could take a Generous Ent for a green-black deck. I like this a lot in the green-black decks because it's just a really solid card on 6 that you can land cycle early if you don't have the mana for it. And the green-black decks have access to Rise of the Witch King as one of the uncommons that allows you to sack a creature and then reanimate a creature from your grave. So if you have land cyclers like Generous Ent, you could get a real big creature early. So I'll take the Generous Ent. Could be like green-black at the core using Woe's Pathfinders to splash in off-color cards like Sauron's Ransom and the Balrog. Seems like a pretty exciting place to potentially be here. Pack 1, pick 7, not a ton of stuff going on here. I think I just take the big green finisher with the Quick Beam, but we could also take the Black Breath, which is solid sideboard material for any black deck. I guess I do have 3 great late-game cards already between Fellbeast, Generous Ent, and the Balrog. So maybe it is better to cut a little more black here and take a really good sideboard piece against like red-white humans aggro where they make a bunch of 1/1s and jam them in. Yeah, I mean, I like Quick Beam, but we're 6 picks in and we have 3 6 or 7 drops already. So I don't think Quick Beam is really necessary for the way things are looking here. Alright, pretty weak pack overall. We'll take the pretty filler Lembas. Now there's a Shelob's Ambush, which is a really nice combat trick, and we can cut the black card out, which is good. Now an Inherited Envelope for more fixing for these random cards alongside our Woes Pathfinder, if we want to do that. And just cut some random green cards that probably don't make the cut. I'll put the guide in for now, but it'll be one of our first cuts. Right, a bunch of unplayable stuff. Pick 12 and pick 13, as you expect to see. So we'll just scoop up some garbage for the sideboard and see what sweet stuff we might open up in pack 2. Alright, we've opened up the Glamdring, which I don't really classify as sweet stuff. You need a lot of instants and sorceries in your graveyard for it to be worth the cost, and even then, 2 to play and 3 to equip is quite a lot. So I don't really think this is going to be a card that's particularly good for our deck. We can take another Generous Ent here, be perfectly happy with that, or a Mortar Muster for an early card, since I feel like we'll wheel green cards a little more often. Don't think we'll wheel the Generous Ent here though, because if there's literally anyone drafting green, Generous Ent is probably the best card left for their deck, unless they're green-red and they take a Smite, because the rest of this pack is pretty weak overall. So I'll take the Mortar Muster here, hope to wheel the Generous Ent, but it might not come back to us, we'll see. Pack 2, pick 2, I'll definitely take another Woes Pathfinder. That's looking really important for this deck, to the point where I'll take it over Isildur's Fateful Strike, which is a great card if you have a lot of legends or a lot of the Ring Tempt to turn your creatures into legends. But I think that Pathfinder to make sure we can splash in the Balrog and the Sauron's Ransom pretty easily is going to be really important, and just ramping up into big cards is good, so take a Pathfinder. Now a Golem's Bite for a great removal spell. 1 mana, -2/2 to something. You can exile it from the grave for 4, have the Ring Tempt You. That's pretty good value. Yep, best cards here are both black, Golem's Bite and Mortar Muster, so black might be even more open in this pod than I thought it was, because I thought somebody like immediately on our left would be in black, but we're actually getting a couple black playables out of pack 2, which I did not expect to happen. And then here's where it dries up. No black playables in the pack. Nothing great in green. Mirkwood Spider would be fine. I think I'd rather just take a Great Hall of the Citadel that could cast a Balrog, and if some other random multicolor legends get passed around, it'll make them easier to cast as well. Really nice draft pod for blue-red spells, but we didn't see the Gandalf sanction till pack 2, so that's a little awkward. But it looks like it would have worked out well. Pelargir Survivor and Flame of Anor in here now. Could have been a cool blue-red spells deck. Third Pathfinder seems super good to me. Sam's Desperate Rescue is also quite nice, but I'm just going to be all Pathfinder all day. Have some great mana fixing in this deck. And also a lot of mana ramp with triple Pathfinder. Pick 6 now. There's a Desperate Rescue or an Ent's Fury. What do our removal spells look like right now? We've got a Golem's Bite. I think that's all for removal right now. Just getting all my non-creature cards out. I guess Fellbeast sorta counts. But we are pretty low on removal. I don't have a lot of beefy creatures though. Like I feel like a lot of the times that I'll have an Ent's Fury in hand, I'll just have a 1/1 army or a 1/1 Pathfinder or a 1/4 on board. So I actually don't think Ent's Fury looks super good for this deck, so I'll take Desperate Rescue, which I think also doesn't look great, but at least it can like get back a Pathfinder if something's going weird with our mana and we need that mana fixing. Mines of Moria is interesting. I don't think I'd take it. I'd probably just take an Ungol Patrol or a Snarling Warg, but I'm not pumped about either of them. I'll take the Patrol. Easterling Vanguard, pick 8. I'll happily take that. Good grief. Trade that thing off and get an army started. Always nice. I'm not going to be doing Trebuchet things. Just rare draft an uncommon. We currently don't look like a Great Hall of the Citadel deck. I've got 1 legend in my deck to cast with it. I guess technically it could fix mana for Wormtongue, but I'm going to have plenty of swamps anyway. But I'll keep in mind that I have it if I see other powerful off-color legends. But I think most likely we're just like green-black triple Pathfinder into Balrog and Ransom. And with 3 Pathfinders, we probably don't have to play the envelope, but we could still do it. Alright, what are we going to get out of pack 3? We're going to get an on-color rare. Could go for that, or I could go for Lash of the Balrog. I think I should just scoop up the on-color rare. It's a pretty strong card. Scry 2, get 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature, and then you get a fight spell out of it as well. And if your creature dies in that fight, you draw a couple cards. Yeah, Fall of Gil-galad seems great. We will scoop that up. Old Man Willow is a phenomenal legend. It's also completely on color, so we actually don't even need Great Hall for it, but this card's really, really strong. Samwise is good as well, but I think Old Man Willow is just busted. Really high power and toughness, because power and toughness is equal to the lands you control, and you can fling creatures or tokens at your opponent's stuff for -2/-2 apiece, which is great, so I'm going to take Old Man Willow here over Samwise, which is definitely splashable, but I think Old Man Willow is just really good. Now we can take the big 5-mana Tree Folk. Could take the Sting here. I don't have a ton of creatures. I'm not getting into combat like crazy. I don't think Sting is awesome in this deck. I think I'd rather take the Horn or the Legolas. But Legolas also kind of slow. Sits there getting bigger over time. I don't know if it's worth the splash. I'll just take the big Tree Folk. How much Ring Tempt do I have? Not enough yet, but maybe we can get multiple Tree Folk and have a great time here. We've got this, a Desperate Rescue and a Golem's Bite, as well as a Sauron's Ransom and an Envelope. We're getting close. We're getting close to enough to draw a card and discard a card sometimes, which is good. Another Ent's Fury. Still don't feel like I'm doing great on creatures that are big enough to actually fight well with that. But I'm incredibly low on removal, so I think I should take it over another Easterling Vanguard. Because my removal is Ambush as a combat trick and a Golem's Bite for creatures with toughness 2 or less. I should probably take this Ent's Fury and hope to have a big Tree Folk out when I use it, if I'm lucky. Could try to wheel it, I guess, but got 5 good 2-drop creatures. I'm going to take the Ent's Fury. Okay, get another Generous Ent, because neither of these legends are worth splashing. This is just a 4-mana 4/4. And this, just very similar to Legolas, slowly gets bigger over time. Take a Generous Ent. There's another Ent's Fury or another Pathfinder. Take another Ent's Fury, and that is just the removal that we're relying on this deck. Another Lembas. Triple Pathfinder and Envelope. I'll play all of those and then just not have to play Wizard's Rockets. I think that's how I'll choose to do things here. I guess I could take Bag End Porter as well and just be all about beef. Play beef up on the curve. I don't think Glorfindel is good in here. We don't have a lot of scry. I'm going to take Bag End Porter, actually. Just green, black, beat sticks is the deck. Triple Pathfinder is already a lot. I think I'm going to take Mortar Muster over another Pathfinder. I mean, I guess that doesn't synergize super well in here. And 4 Pathfinder would really consistently just be play a Pathfinder on 2, then play a 4-drop on turn 3. Alright. Green, black, beef is going to be the archetype. We're just going to play big dudes and attack. That's the deck plan. We're not going to play Great Hall the Citadel. I'll definitely play Double Enraged Horn, though. I kind of wish I took Quick Beam at this point. I think it would have fit in nicely. We can splash in the Legolas, I guess, for a more big dork to attack with, or for another big dork to attack with. And there's another Bag End Porter. I like the Porter better because it's just immediately like a 4/4. If we have any legends on board, it's a 5/5. If we have multiple legends, it could be a 6/6. I might main deck the Black Breath. Small creatures are going to be pretty annoying for our big beef to get through when they've got a bunch of chumps and stuff. This is gonna be fun. This is a dumb deck. Play some large dorks and slam them in. That is our deck plan. We have 46 cards in here. We're splashing a Balrog. We don't want a mountain in this deck though, because we have nothing to tutor it out. We definitely don't want islands in this deck either for the Legolas, Sauron's Ransom. We just have these 5 mana dorks, or Pathfinder and an Envelope. I've got 2 forest cyclers, so I think I can cut 1 land here, go to 16. I still want a lot of lands because we want to play a lot of beef higher up on the curve, but I think cutting 1 land for 2 land cyclers is fine, especially with all these mana dorks. We could drop Lembas. Desperate Rescue actually with double Generous Ent is looking pretty okay. I'm just going to make a pile of non-creature spells here, so I don't have to lag out the deck builder. See what our creature curve looks like. Alright, Galadrim Guide is probably a cut. Legolas is maybe a cut. Yeah, those seem like the weakest creatures in this deck. Whoa. Alright, the internet cut out for a second there, but we are back. I was just saying I was going to cut Legolas and Galadrim Guide. We don't have anything good to sack to Wormtongue, so I think I'm going to try to just jump the curve 2 to 4 with all these Pathfinders. Just drop the Wormtongue. And then I don't really want to cut any more creatures, because this drops us down to 15 of them. I guess I've got a Mortar Muster making it like 16, but still don't really want to cut more. Let's drop maybe Lembas and maybe Ambush. I'm not doing too much. Combat Trick Necessary Combat. We're hoping to just attack with creatures that are much bigger than our opponent's stuff in the first place. So I think Lembas plus Ambush is a fine cut. And call it a deck there. Alright, here's a look at today's deck list. This is going to be just a green-black ramp deck playing a bunch of big, beefy creatures. The main deck plan is to drop down our playset of Woe's Pathfinder. Drop 1 or 2 of these down early game, alongside other cards like Inherited Envelope to ramp up. And then just jam out some beef. 4 mana 4/4s, cards like Old Man Willow that just get bigger and bigger the more lands we play. Some 5 mana 4/5 tramples, some 5 mana 4/5s. 6 mana 4/4 that makes our opponent sack a card, and it's got flying. Got the 7 mana 7/5 haste that's super hard to block, and a couple of Generous Ents as 6 mana 5/7. So a ton of beef in this deck. We're using some Ent's Fury as our main removal spells with all those late game beefy cards. We've got a Black Breath in here to deal with the decks that are just going wide with a bunch of small creatures, because we're going to have a hard time blocking against those decks, since we're all about the size of our creatures rather than the quantity of our creatures. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun deck, a really simple deck this time around. Jam out large creatures and large threats. So we'll see how it all plays out for us as we head into the gameplay. One last thing real quick, because we have 4 Pathfinder out of green that fix for the black, I'm swapping over to 9/7. But now let's go ahead and head into the gameplay here. Well, I'm glad I have 11 green sources in the deck now, because I might actually keep this. 11 out of the 33, 1 out of every 3 cards is a green source here. We've got Mortar Muster to draw another card, and we're on the draw. I'm going to see 3 cards before I need a green source, and on average one of those 3 should be a green source, and that is the first draw, so we are golden. Our opponent is on blue-black. They start off with Birthday Escape turn 1 for the ring to tempt them, and March from the Gate turn 2, a really excellent start for our opponent. Let's drop down a Pathfinder so I can ramp into Old Man Willow next turn. It will just be a 3/3, but I think it's important to get these Pathfinders down, try to use them to curve into these big threats. So I could play another Pathfinder and a Mortar Muster here, or a 3/3 Old Man Willow. What's better? If I play the 3/3 Old Man Willow, then next turn I can attack with it and sack the Muster token to kill something. I guess this is going to be a 3/3, that's going to be 1/4, so nothing on board would die to that. It's probably not better. Probably better to just get the mana. Next turn I'll have 5 mana if I don't play Pathfinder, and 6 if I do. Let's set up to have 6 mana here. Oh my god. Triple Pathfinder, let's go. Yeah, right now we just play a Fell Beast next turn, and whatever they sack is fine with us, and then we have a food left behind for Old Man Willow. If they have the Black Breath in their deck, that's going to be disgusting in this matchup. Even if it's just in their sideboard, they'll have it for the next 2 games. So we're definitely getting marched here. The snowball is rolling. It's Snowball Summit and Mario Party all over again. Yoshi's trying to crush me under a 200-pound snowball. Double knife wounds? I'm about to take 4 and then lose both my Pathfinders. That's really annoying. That is really annoying. Alright, kill the Grima. Probably just trade into the army with the Fell Beast. They're down to 2 cards in hand here. Another Birthday Escape. Oh god, that's good. So now Fell Beast can't block the army. Oh wait, no, it can, because it goes up to 4. So we can. Well, now we definitely have to block the army, because otherwise now it's drawing and discarding every turn as well. Alright, they got 2 cards left. Surrounded by Orcs is one of them. Mills or Golem's Bite. They've got a 3/3 Orc here. If I keep both Pathfinders, I just cast a Balrog this turn. But I go to 6. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. It's worth it! Oh! Ow. Alright, Sauron's Ransom is the draw. Come on, Balrog. Alright, please don't kill me. Just let me chump for a turn and then attack 2 more times with Balrog to kill you. That's what I want to do. I can sack the Pathfinders now. I can play a new one to fix into the Sauron's Ransom. I guess I should keep one of them so I can chump the Orc Army and stop 4 damage with it instead of 2 damage with it. Ooh, exile their own graveyard to replay those next turn, so I'm going to let one of these die. But I'm going to keep the other for a chump. Because then I can chump with it and Sauron's Ransom if I have the mana. I don't, though, since I didn't draw land. I guess I can chump with it and eat the food at least. Is that better than playing another Pathfinder? Probably. We've got Grima for a legend, which can chump block the Balrog. No way to kill it. If I play 2 Pathfinders, then if I top deck a land, I can give +3/+3 and trample to the Balrog and kill them. So I think it's actually better to play 2 Pathfinders than Old Man Willow. Chump block with the old Pathfinder. And if I hit a land... Oh, that's a good draw. That was their literal top deck. Okay. Well, we might still be losing here. At least all they can do is play Grima now. I don't have anything in my deck to put +1/+1 counters on creatures, so I can't get the Balrog to untap. I'm gonna eat the food instead of trying to fling it at something with Old Man Willow, because all their stuff's too big anyway. Could still, like, mitigate their blockers with it, I guess. Four mana up? I could have the Ring tempt us and make something a Ring Bearer with Golem's Bite, but it's better to draw cards and have the Ring tempt us. So we will be doing that instead. The army remains a very bad time. We have to block with something here or they can make us lose a life with Grima. Bag End Porter is a very large card. Ring-bearing Old Man Willow is not going to sneak past anybody. But if I have the Ring Tempt Us again, I'll make Old Man Willow the Ring Bearer to draw a card, discard a card. Oh, hold up. I can sack the Balrog to Old Man Willow, which blows up one of their creatures when it dies? Wait a second. Can't kill them, but I force a chump with Worm Tongue off of that? That's really good. Is there a way to kill them? 7. I can make it 10 power off of Pathfinder. 2 toughness, 10 power. Wait a second, hold up. I think this kills them. If I attack with Old Man Willow, sacrifice the Balrog, destroy the Troll of Khazad-dûm, and make the Worm Tongue a 0/2. Then we buff Willow up to where it's 10 power and trample, and we hit for 8. Alright, that'll do it. Just some big, beefy nonsense as we imagined when we built the deck. That's really sweet to see the game end like that. That was fancy, that was powerful, that was a bunch of just big Timmy-style creatures. That was a very nice game. Definitely into that. So our opponent's deck is very good. They're a blue-black Amass deck. They've got some mill in there if they want. They've got a good amount of the Ring Tempting to get some card draw, some looting. If we have anything to blow up Bewitching Leechcrafts, we should put it in, but I don't think we have any. I could give Hexproof when they try to cast it, but not afterwards. Yeah, if I had any sacrifice effects, they'd be really good in this matchup because all of their removal is enchantment-based. That is the big downside of their deck. But we're going to have to just use Old Man Willow as our good sacrifice card. We don't have any other options in our sideboard to sack our creatures for good value, it looks like. Oh, we've got Grima. I guess? Yeah, that'd be fine when they're going to lock out our creatures anyway. I guess it's better than the Black Breath, it looks like, in this matchup. They could have a 1/1 army every now and then. Actually, pretty rarely, just the turn they play the March. But they could have, like, Dunlin Corbanes. We haven't seen them yet, but they might have them. Look through the deck again, but I think I'm going to drop the Black Breath for now and just hope they don't have, like, Dunlin Corbanes, because we haven't actually seen them. So yeah, I'll cut the Black Breath for Grima. And then when they're locking out our creatures, we can at least sack them for some damage to our opponent, which is kind of cool. Doesn't seem incredible, but might be better than the Black Breath here in this matchup. Okay, we've got both colors naturally. I'm pretty happy with that draw, because if we didn't find the swamp here, then any removal spell in the Pathfinder would play pretty badly for us, but it seems like most of their removal would not actually kill the Pathfinder, it would just make us shoot ourselves a bunch. So let's just curve out Pathfinder into Bag End Porter if we can. There's the Bewitching Leechcraft on the Pathfinder. That is the one removal spell that can deal with it. Now I can play another Pathfinder and hold up a Golem's Bite. Knights of Dol Amroth. Golem's Bite is not big enough for that. We didn't hit a land here. Do I play a 4/4? Do I play a Fall of Gilgalad and hope that they don't make the Knights any bigger? Because this can set up to where we're planning to trade a 3/3 Pathfinder into the Knights and draw 2 later. Plus it can scry to find more lands, which is important. It's probably safer to just play Bag End Porter, because that'll play pretty poorly if they draw a second card this turn and make the Knights a 4/4, because then I'd have to fight with Fall plus cast Golem's Bite to beat it. Okay, now we've got the mana to play Pathfinder plus Fall, so I think I'll do that. Although I should just attack with the Bag End Porter first, holding up a Golem's Bite. if they try to get the double block off. They do not try to block at all. So let's play a fall. Let's grind into some lands. There we go. Land Generous Ent. Yeah, I can turn the Ent into a land if I need to and just cast it if I don't. Land next turn means I would have 6 mana if they don't kill my Pathfinders, which is enough to cast that Ent. Troll of Khazad-dûm. That's a big, spooky, terrifying card. So make the bag end a 6/6. Trades into the troll off of a fight later. 5 mana, and I can hold up Golem's Bite still, so we'll play the Horn pre-combat. And then bag end attacks for 7. Then I don't have blocks for the troll, but I wasn't going to have blocks for the troll regardless. I need to hold 3 creatures up anyway. It might be better to play that post-combat because they might have blocked the Porter if I had just attacked with it as a 6/6. I imagine they wouldn't want to go for that trade, but if they were considering going for that trade, it would have been better to just attack before playing that. So if they tried to, we could Golem's Bite and beat the troll. There's another Troll of Khazad-dûm, alright. I mean, we're at 16 here. They've got a level 1 Ring Bearer, and they're at 9. We've got a Fall of Gil-galad about to pop off. I'm liking our position quite a bit. All they can do is attack with the Troll of Khazad-dûm. We'll take our 6 damage. If I don't kill one of those trolls, then I am going to die. So let's make sure we can kill them here somehow. I can't jam out a Balrog. I could Golem's Bite before the fight triggers so that the troll's small enough to die to the Porter. Attack with everybody. I can't kill them, but I can kill a troll so we don't die on the crackbacks. That's probably the play. I don't think I'm going to be trying to get the draw to and lose my bag end Porter. Let's go full control to make sure it lets me Golem's Bite before this resolves. Okay. So if I attack with this, they can trade the knights into it now. If I attack with this, they double block and trade the knights off. I die in 2 hits to this troll. I just need to make sure I can block everything else. I can block everything else if I attack with both of these, because they have to block one of them. So I pretty much have to trade into bag end Porter here. They got instant speed life gain here. They do not. They are going to take the trade. Now I get to draw 2 off the bag end Porter. Oh my god, find a Fell Beast here. Kill the Pelargir Survivor, take 6. I'll play that instead of Patrol. There's a Birthday Escape to make the troll level 2. Even if they manage to make it level 4, they have to have another way to get damage in, because that would just hit me for 9, put me to 1. There's a Morgul Knife Wound on the horn, so I'll probably exile that, but they scoop them up. That is going to be a victory for Black-Green Beef Sticks. Bunch of big dorks and a ton of Woes Pathfinders leading the path straight to victory. This deck is very fun. Pretty excited to play some more games. Let's just jam it out. Let's get back into round number 2 now. 1-0. Alright, here we are for round 2. We don't have that turn 2 Woes Pathfinder, but we have both of our colors, our pretty nice rare, the Fall of Gil-galad, We're going to see how this pans out for us. Our deck is pretty reliant and much stronger when we have O's Pathfinder on turn 2, but I don't think we're the kind of deck that wants to just like fully straight up mulligan any hand that doesn't have O's Pathfinder. We're close though. I love me some Pathfinders. Alright, we're playing against blue-red spells here. They're probably going to blow up my army before this gets any counters onto it, but I'm still going to use this to scry into some more plays, because I've got nothing else to run out this turn. Probably should play this post-combat. Oh no, that's not a Pathfinder for the Balrog. I'm going to keep the Balrog if we draw one of our 4 Pathfinders or our 1 Inherited Envelope. That's going to be a strong late game play, but I'll get rid of this forest because we already have 6 lands. I should have played this post-combat because they probably wouldn't have killed my Orc Army if I attacked without playing this, if they had a cheap little instant speed burn spell. But if I play the Fall of Gil-galad, then they know that I'm going to put some counters on it, and then they'll definitely kill it. Unless they play a Rangers of Ithilien, one of the strongest rares in the whole format. That one card has immediately set me quite far behind. The Ring Tempts them, they steal my creature, and now I do nothing with the entirety of my Fall of Gil-galad. Okay, well, we're definitely going to get our Ungol Patrol countered, but at least that means the Generous Ent is more likely to resolve. Treason of Isengard the Glorious Scale? Way to be a very annoying human. Let's drop Generous Ent and pass the turn. Soothing a Smeagol to bounce the Ent with the counterspell up. Draw a card, discard a card off the Rangers. They're 3 color, they're blue, red, and black. Discard a Golem's Bite here. I drop an Ent, it gets scaled, and I die. So we drop a Pathfinder. Rescue the Ungol Patrol, but I can't even afford to play it right now anyway. I have to just chump and eat a food right now. Yeah, this game's just a loss. I guess we needed the Pathfinder turn 2. But even if we had Pathfinder on turn 2, Rangers just steals it. Okay, so Rangers of Ithilien was horrific for us. The rest of their deck looks pretty beatable if we curve out well. We just had a really slow hand where it doesn't really matter if they didn't do anything early, and then they were perfectly free to just hold up Glorious Scales for the rest of the game. So we kind of do just need to get Pathfinders down early. We need to actually curve out well, otherwise they're just going to have multiple Gales by the time we do stuff, and close things out with Rangers. So that was kind of a tragic game. Felt like we died to nonsense because they didn't even really do anything. They just played 1 Rangers and we died. But it's because our curve ended up being even more awkward than theirs, where we didn't get to really play anything else until like 6 mana, where they could easily counter our stuff. So bummer of a game. The keep really didn't work out. I think it was really reasonable though, because the hand was pretty standard, pretty usual. Fall of Gil-galad with only a 1/1 was pretty bad though. So this is actually much stronger later in our deck, because most of our early creatures are 1/1s, so that's probably the big thing. Should have just mulliganed to 6, I guess. Their hand was slow enough, maybe we could have got there off a mull. Okay, this hand looks much better in this matchup. The matchup in general is pretty tragic for us because counterspells are always going to be bad for us since the majority of our creatures are like 5 mana or greater and all they have to do is spend 2 to counter them. Completely nullify them. I think we just have a real bad matchup against control in general, now that I'm thinking of it. Mainly just against Glorious Gale in particular as a card. We've got the Pathfinder down, so this game is already going significantly better. They have an Island Cycler in their hand. Well, they have a Land Cycler in their hand or a Deceive the Messenger. There is no shot I'm casting. There's no shot I'm attacking with Woe's Pathfinder here. I could just play another Pathfinder. I could just play another 2 Pathfinders. They could counter one of them. I don't think we showed them anything that would make them want to keep a Black Breath in their deck. So hopefully, if they have a Black Breath, it's in the sideboard right now. Okay, they're going to Golem's Bite one of the Pathfinders, so I can't just cast the Balrog if I draw a land. That would have been sweet. Well, I guess our opponent does not believe in sideboarding, because Cast into the Fire certainly would have been sideboarded out if they did. And I guess we just lose then, because Cast into the Fire happens to get us real badly. We played one toughness creature all game 1. I probably should have just went 2 and 2. Treason of Isengard is not that strong. Give them a land and a treason, it's fine. They take the treason. Well, no +1/+1 counters from the fall. Let's just scry 2. This is the saddest round of Magic. And I'm pretty ready to scoop it up now, because they can just ransom again, draw 2, and we're just stuck. They've killed 3 of our 4 Pathfinders for our 2 off-color cards that are both in hand. And this is an incredible hit. Oh my god. Any 2 of these are fantastic. The Smite to kill Vanguard is so bad for us. Guess we really just try to mind game them with these. They take these 2, we're mega dead, but even if they get one of these 2, we're mega dead. So if I show them one and they take like this pile, already in a horrible position, so just hope they think the other 2 are lands. Alright. I'm ready to scoop, but I'll play it out. Okay, I'm gonna scoop now. We're not coming back here. Heading into round 3. Here we are in round 3 now with a very forced mulligan into an opening hand with no Pathfinder. Our opponent insta-scoops. I guess we start off with a victory in game 1. They just did not even want to try to play a game with a 5-card hand. So maybe they got really unlucky and just drew like 2 0-land hands and just got tilted. They're just gonna scoop the whole round. Okay. Opponent is either tilted or very busy with something that came up IRL, which definitely happened, so let's not make any assumptions. Something very well could have come up there. I guess that's just gonna do it for this deck. I really wanted to play with this deck more, which is part of why round 2 was such a bummer. Like, it's not just that we lost round 2, but it just didn't even feel like we got to play Magic in round 2. Because just one removal spell to stop Fall of Gilgalad game 1 meant we basically did nothing for the rest of the game. And then game 2, the cast into the fire on double Pathfinder, it's like, okay, I'll play 3 lands and cast no spells for the rest of the game. Would have loved to be able to play Magic there, but I guess we really basically only got to play 1 round with our deck, which is what it is. At least we get a 2-1 record, so we get 1,000 gems out of this event. I had fun with this deck. I think it was pretty solid. I think the Pathfinder game plan's pretty good. The deck has some big weaknesses against cards like the Black Breath and Cast into the Fire because those Pathfinders are so important early. So big bummer to run up against the Cast into the Fire round 2. Round 2 in general, just running up against several cards that are incredible against our deck. That was just a horrible matchup for us in general, where our win conditions are just a bunch of big, beefy late game creatures. So a slower controlling deck definitely has the time to set up and then counter them all, which is what they did in game 1. And cards that can kill multiple 1 toughness creatures off 1 card are really good against our deck, and that's how they killed us in game 2. Cast into the Fire on Pathfinder, so super, super rough matchup round 2. Would have loved to play another round against anything and just gotten to play some more big dorks because I had a whole ton of fun in round 1 at least. But sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. Actually makes it more disappointing, I think, than a 1 and 2 even. Because I just want to play more games with this deck. It's just a cool deck. It's a fun deck. It's one of the greenest decks I've drafted. Maybe that's why it scooped so fast in round 2. But I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was fine. I thought it was solid. Just definitely not good against blue-red control. Well, I suppose that does it for us. We get 1,000 gems and 3 packs as our prizes. Not bad at all, but that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and my YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link or the join button in the description below. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.